What's up, me? How's it going? How are you doing, future Joe? I'm doing great. I had a good day. It's my fourth sober Tuesday, which means this is my 24th day, I believe. It's the 6th. Yeah, sounds about right. Um, Woke up about 7:30ish or so, because I keep staying up too late. And just hung out. I bought a duffel bag yesterday. So this morning I filled it up with about 45 pounds worth of plastic jugs full of water. You know, I drinks the 0 calorie sodas. The Walmart brand is just $1 for a 2 liter. So every time I finish one up, I just save it, fill it up with water. And I do that anyway because these apartments like to turn the water off and without much warning. So like I'm keeping the water here because I'm a huge fan of being able to flush my toilet. Let me tell you, good time. Flush toilets, happy life. You know what I'm saying? They say happy wife, happy life. I say flush toilets, happy life. You know what I mean? Because I'm single anyway. I don't need a wife. So had an appointment with the bank. Oh well, I'm getting ahead of myself. So yeah, I filled up my duffel bag with 45 pounds, and I went walking with that and with the gallon jugs. Oh, excuse me. And I was walking for like 5 minutes. I was like, man, it's too damn heavy, dude. So I walked back. So I did 10 minutes. Then I went to the bank to create an account. So now I'm finally fancy like the kids, man. This is the first time I finally have it set up to where I can pay by putting my phone up to the damn thing, you know? Like, I never had that before, man. Moving on up, man. You know what I'm saying? Moving on up. And so as soon as that happened, I was like, so am I gonna get like a temporary debit card? And they're like, no, you stupid boomer. That's the Stone Age shit. And I didn't really say that, but it was like, no, we don't do that anymore. I was like, well, I'm trying to get my car insurance today. And he was like, well, if they can take your routing and account number, then you'll be fine. Otherwise, you'll get the card within 5 business days. So, next week. I was like, all right, cool. I'm not in a rush. I've been driving illegally for over a year anyway. I'm really good at driving, so I'm not like terribly worried about it. Like I'm super. But I was in Iraq for a long time. I wasn't driving. I was in the gunner's hatch, but like being situational awareness, and driving correctly, knowing there's a cop around or assuming there's a cop around and always doing the right thing. That's why I was able to drive like that for so long. So I called up the lady with the insurance agency that I was talking to yesterday, and I asked her about it, and she had to get with her manager. And basically, she's like a third-party insurance agency that like tries to find you the cheapest ones. And so the cheapest one that she found for me, they could take my routing and account number, but her side of the deal, they wouldn't be able to collect it because they don't do it like that. And so she ran it by her boss, and like they decided to just waive the fee for me, just out of the kindness of their hearts, bro. Like literally, she's like, well, you told me you don't have a job, and you're real nice, you're real laid back. A lot of our clients, they're real antsy or rude, or they're in a rush, and you're just really cool. And so we just decided, that we won't even charge you the fee. So instead of $156, it's only gonna be $101. I was like, for reals? Are you serial right now? I mean, I was like, thank you. And I was waiting to like get a chance to get a word in edgewise to like say, hey, can I leave a review for you? But she kept talking and talking and talking, and then she was like, hey, all I ask is that you leave me a review. And I was just like, damn it, she beat me to it. I was like, I promise you I was gonna ask you that before this phone call was over. And so like we're doing everything over the phone, and like she's getting the documents ready for me to do the e-signatures, and it takes a while, and like she is a real talkative person. Let me tell you, and I was in Walmart, which let me backtrack again real quick, real sidestep. Before I went to Walmart, after the bank, I went to a pawn shop because I have this subwoofer that I've been hanging on to since my dad passed away. I don't use it because it's too loud. I wouldn't want to use it in these apartments. I'm trying to be all loud like that anyway. And so, and now that I finally got my license yesterday, I can actually go sell something to a pawn shop. So I got $35 from that. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna go to Walmart, with this 35 bucks, maybe get some beef, you know, and get another pair. I bought 2 pairs of shoes, both of them only 16 bucks. You know, it's cool, man. I love being cheap, man. I love being 40 years old. I ain't no kid. I'm not trying to be fashionable, man. I'm a kid at heart, you know what I'm saying? Best story arc in the whole Dragon Ball Z series right here, the Frieza Saga, Namek Saga. That's what's up. I bought this shit from Walmart too a long time ago. But yeah, so I was in Walmart, and that's when I started, you know, I was gonna shop and get the insurance, the car insurance through her. So like, man, she really likes to talk, man. So I'm in there like trying to look for stuff, and she's just like blah 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 blah, and I'm just like, it's okay. She just saved you $50. The least you can do is patiently listen to her talk, you know. And the talking was like for 20 minutes too, like while she's getting the stuff ready. She even like reassured me, like, I'm not just talking my head off to you, I'm like doing the thing for you, so don't worry. And sorry, I talk a lot, but I can't stand silence, you know, which I silently chuckled at because, you know, as I've said many times in these videos, I love silence. Or I don't love it necessarily, but I don't hate it, I don't fear it. And I was kind of hoping for it, you know, like I was hoping she'd get to the point where like she would like, you know, run out of steam, but she didn't. But I was like, save me $50, dude. I mean, for the love of God, have the patience for the person who saved you $50 out of the kindness of her heart. She literally did not have to do that. So, you know, I soldiered through it, you know. It was tough, you know, but I persevered. And finally the conversation was over. And everything worked out. And so I came back to the apartment, ate some food, and what did I do next after that? Oh yeah, I went to the place where you get the registration, the DMV, DPS, whichever one, downtown. And I finally got my truck registered. The registration's been expired since August. Now it's January. So now I got my insurance, my license is valid, my registration is valid. I ain't got no drug paraphernalia. I ain't got no drug residue in my truck. I'm pretty sure I could pass the drug test now. I think it's been at least a month since I smoked weed. So, you know, like I'm good, man. I'm doing good. And now it's job time, man. It's gotta be job time. It's already kind of late, man. I might have to wait till tomorrow to put in these applications, man. I was meant to do it tonight, but I went to the meeting, but I'll get to that. So, I got my registration, which was cool. And I was like, man, I'm gonna go to the bookstore, man, see if they got some Dean Koontz books. I was like, wait a minute. I bet I can find some free Dean Koontz audiobooks on my beloved internet. And sure enough, I found a freaking torrent that has every single book he's written from 1972 to 2012 in audio format, which is like a gold mine, and it's fucking free. Oh yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about. Because I love that man's prose. So that's a lot of walking I'm gonna have to do. A lot of walking. Good Lord, that's a lot of walking. So when I came back, I reduced the weight of my duffel bag to 30 pounds, and I was able to walk for the hour with, you know, my 15 pound gallon jugs that I carry in my hands, as you can see in my shorts. Joe from the future, or the 3 people who are watching this. And the duffel bag, I mean, it's like going on a ruck march, like when I was in the Army, like basic training type shit, you know, going on the training exercises, man, like, so cool, man. Listening to stand-up comedy, or I was listening to, they got this guy on trial, Adrian Gonzalez, I think. I'm so sorry if I don't remember his name, but he's on trial in Texas because of the Uvalde school shooting that happened, I think it was like in 2018 or 2019. Where, you know, this guy went to the school and he killed a bunch of elementary kids and 2 teachers, and then he was killed. And so this guy's on trial for child abuse or child abandonment because he allegedly didn't do enough to save these kids, which right off the bat, man, like I'm an armchair, you know, quarterback when it comes to true crime, but like this charge is bullshit to me. Like, to me, people just want someone to be punished because the real monster who killed those people was killed by the police. And so there's no one left. And so all these people, man, they just need this moral gratification, man. They want to see someone's heads roll. Even though this guy, he's a human being. Like, you know, he looks like he's probably in his early 60s, you know, but he's still like, he's a human being. He's got the rest of his life ahead of him. If it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years, that's still a long time. And these people want him to go to prison. And a lot of these people, he's facing a maximum of 2 years. But, it's like, 20 counts of 2 years. So all these idiots on the internet think that he's going to get 2 times however many victims there were because they don't know shit about this. It's like, he's not going to get sentenced consecutive terms, okay? Like, if he's found guilty, he's facing 2 years max. But listen to the opening statements on my walk from the defense, because I'm not going to listen to the state because I already have sided on the not guilty. And just like Karen Reed, that's the only time I've ever been on the not guilty side since I've been in true crime. And I knew she was going to be acquitted. It was just like a fucking foregone conclusion to me. Even though her first trial was a mistrial, I still knew that the retrial was going to be an acquittal then, and that's what happened. And when her civil trial comes up in 2027, she's going to be found not liable. Believe it. Believe it. And the people who think she's guilty, that's fine. I love y'all. I don't have to care anymore because she was acquitted. Like, she's not in prison. She gets to go to sleep in her own bed and eat whatever she wants to eat. And she don't have to be in a gay relationship with some hardcore dangerous dyke lady, all scary and shit, Sorry for, if that was offensive, but, so yeah, this guy's like innocent, bro. Like, first of all, he's not even assigned to the school. He was assigned to the high school. And when stuff started popping off, he went to the elementary school. So first of all, he's not even familiar with this whole situation. So that right there, like, he's being charged for child abandonment. Like, first of all, he left his post to come to the situation. Secondly, everyone thought this guy was fleeing the police, and they thought he was using the school as cover to flee from the police because he crashed into a ditch or something on his way up to the school. So I guess the perception was that he was fleeing. They didn't think of him as arriving to the school. They thought of him as fleeing from law enforcement. And secondly, the door he entered the school through was supposed to be locked. Thirdly, the police officers' comms, their radios did not work inside the school. I mean, the door was unlocked. And then they didn't even have the perception that this was a school shooting scenario when he entered the school. They thought he was, hiding, trying to sneak his way through the school to get away, which makes total sense, okay? And so these people just want his head to roll because they can't handle the fact that school shootings are so exceedingly rare. This seems like they're common because they're a big deal when they happen, but if you actually look at it, they are extremely rare. So they're functionally impossible to predict or prevent. The only way you can prevent it is if you turn schools into literal prisons. And I bet it would still happen eventually. Someone would still find a way to pull it off. But all the mob, especially on the internet, especially on Twitter, man, the mob, they just want to see his head roll. That was a long tangent on that one. So I'm calling it right now. He's going to get acquitted. Absolutely. Because, just the opening statements from the defense. So I listened to that on the walk, man. Dude, having the duffel bag on that's 30 pounds makes a big difference. I'm fixing to go do it again. I can't wait, man. It just brings me back to my Army days, my basic training, man. Basic training is one of the best experiences I've ever had in my life. I didn't love it so much at the time. I didn't feel it was the best experience of my life at the time, but it's always been fun to me. The day that I was out of basic training and AIT and at my permanent duty station, I've always had fond memories of basic training. And so maybe I'm just having a midlife crisis. My duffel bag is someone's duffel bag that they sold to the the military supply store. It's got all the painting, the stencils, the smell, bro. It just smells like the fucking Army, bro. It's have you ever smelled nostalgia before? Because that's what it's like. So yeah, I went for the walk. It was good. Went to the meeting. It was good. The girl I made friends with, there was a little confusion about the sexual factor, but that got squashed. I don't have enough time to get into that. And she's really cool. So I chatted with her for a couple minutes after the meeting, and she's real nice. She's brutally honest when she shares. That's why I like her so much. She's brutally honest. She's straight up, I haven't surrendered to the first step yet. I love to hear that. I don't want to hear some guy, I've been sober for 22 years and the craving is a thinking problem. I ain't trying to hear that. All right, talk to me later.